the other people like look around and start pointing their spears at you like they don't know what to do. Um, but they're not engaging because you did um kill that one. Um, but as they're looking at you, everyone forgot, including me, when I was then looked at my notes. One of the guys that didn't have the flaming spear, you see the other creature that was fighting these guys, its mouth opens up to its entire torso and just surrounds itself around the guy and just envelops him, and then see the body almost like when you drop a pebble into a puddle. It springs up and then goes back down as it just absorbs him into nothing.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's a little.
That's nightmare fuel.
Yeah, well,
It's your favorite kind.
Yeah. Is there other kinds of fuel? No one told me. But there is one more. I'm going to say, with the three other guys and you're able to quickly resolve the conflict if you're okay with that, or do you want to roll more blood
Totally
murder?
fine with that. I'm
Totally fine with
completely fine with that.
Okay. Ripping and tearing ensues. Victories are had. Slight rejoicing. Yay. Victory screech.
You get golf claps from the wind.
Victory screech!
Anyway, inside the town Winifred. This place looks awful. Like, even for towns that you've come across before, there are more people wrapped in old sheets than there are people walking around. There are a total of maybe 15 buildings that are sustaining people. You continue onwards, and you see that there seems to be one person who's kind of leading the delegations, and they are wearing a lot of different mix match of colors that, honestly, if you were in a circus, it would make sense, but any other place, it makes you kind of want to throw up because, like, those colors are too bright and, like, this place doesn't make sense. As it's a male figure, standing at maybe 5.5 feet tall, wearing this almost court jester, circus clown sort of vibe. And you see that on his belt he has what seems to be 2 whips, a tome of some kind, and on his back a large, what looks like spell scroll or some sort of large scroll container. He seems to be the one that's kind of delegating things for people to do.
Okay.
You would catch his eye because, well, you're a newcomer, and that's what happens. He would walk over to you, kind of like as people started walking over to you, he'd raise his hand. Good morning. I don't suppose you're here to try and raid us, I hope.
Me and what army?
Hey, you'd be surprised. We have come across a lot of strange creatures here. His beard was once full blonde, and so was his hair, but it's showing signs of aging and gray. One of his eyes has completely milked over, and the other one is a beautiful, almost looks like tiger's eye orange. He looks to you and smiles. But if you're not here for the to raid us, because trust me, we don't have enough food for ourselves, or marbles for that matter. What can I do you for?
Do I know why I was sent here?
You were just told that something here might interest you. A voice on the wind.
I was sent here on a whim.
It's typically how the world goes these days. He's gonna look over to the commotion because more people are now coming to kind of surround you, Rags. I'm gonna be honest. You're bigger and scarier than the thing that they were just fighting because you ripped it in half. You know that saying, like, how do we kill this giant angry gorilla? We get a bigger, stronger, angrier gorilla. It's basically what just happened. And they're not approaching because they're concerned/confused. Because, you kind of helped. The guy is going to walk over in that direction. If you'd like to just kind of get a general vibe off him or anything. Actually, do you have a perception check /rolly thingamajig?
I do not.
Could you roll me a brains check then?
Yes, I can.
Your DC is a 10.
Oh, okay. I'm 13.
13. You do notice that as he's walking away, the back of his coat of many colors, if you would, has the symbol of the has the holy symbol, if you would, or the holy insignia of the marionette, which is a cross brace that you'd find on marionette strings. He walks over in that direction, and as he's walking over, you do notice that they have a well that is boarded up immensely, and a lot of things around it, and just with the smell, it's been warded off, basically. He walks forward and walks towards your direction, and out around you, Rags, there's about half a dozen people, a couple of torches, one person who shouldn't be walking around with a pitchfork, and they're all trying to see what you're going to respond. And I imagine you're just standing like, what? Guys, come on. Not like this.
I would like to walk over with them and actually... I'd like to kind of walk quickly, but not eagerly, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just kind of like purposeful walking.
There are so many people doing their own things. Most people, like, look at you for a second, but see that you're not, ruining the town. They just let you go.
I would also like to start summoning a serpent of a large size.
Like, how large? Like the basilisk from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets?
No.
Okay. Like Shenron?
I don't know what Shenron is.
The dragon from Dragon Ball Z.
Like a 6 foot long with boa.
Oh, that I was like, why does that sound familiar? No, kind of just like a large like anaconda, like boa constrictor type. Like just like large enough for like people to notice, but like just kind of keeping it in the back, like where like people aren't gonna notice it or trip on it yet. Just like getting the motions of it started, just kind of like passively having that on in the background.
Okay.
And I will start kind of weaving my way through the crowd, kind of starting to get towards the front, like 2 or 3 people from the front to see what this commotion's all about.
You do smell immediately, Rags, clergyman, as the circus-looking gentleman walks up, being followed behind. BrightsSwords, why don't you explain what Winifred looks like?
Winifred is fairly pale, neutral looking. She does have longer pointed ears. She is wearing glasses. More striking features. She has green like dark, like brown red eyes, like brown, but like in the light they kind of gleam with a red tint. Darker eyeshadow, very gothic. Dark red maroon hair. Black robes with red adornments. Lots of jewelry, all like mismatched but still purposeful looking. Layers of necklaces, tons of rings. She's about 5'8", so fairly tall, but she's fully covered. She stands purposefully but relaxed, in a way that gives her just kind of this like cool aura, but like don't touch her.
Lady Dimitrescu stance.
Exactly.
Some respectable power.
She tries.
It's about the power.
It's not a sexual thing. It's a dominance thing.
God,
I digress.
Anyway.
Yes, go ahead. And also, you see behind the this woman a giant snake. Just Just following
It's
her.
kind of it's laying lower to the ground, like it's not trying to get any attention. It's just like if he notices passively, like it is.
He is
weaving its way.
They are standing at about like 9 feet tall, so they're just kind of looking
12 feet,
down.
10 feet.
10 feet. Sorry, yes, 10 feet. Good. The clergyman kind of walks past everyone and kind of gets right underneath you. You're standing about 2 of him. You're not here to eat our children, are you?
I don't particularly like causing problems for children.
Good.
However, if it would make you feel better, I can go back into my more passive form.
Yeah, whatever makes you feel better. He's gonna whistle to the guys and say in language that neither of you understand, and everyone kind of calms down and goes on their way.
Very well.
Uh,
He seems to adjust himself a little bit, and he starts shrinking down, and shrinking down, and shrinking down until eventually he's back into the small, 9-inch tall, 1 foot long, wolf plush form. And there's no signs at all on his form of where the ripping and tearing was. It's like it was never there.
you do notice as he was saying that he did have his hands, both hands on his whips, just as a as a thing. But I take it you're not a disciple of the marionette.
The what now?
The marionette is one of the core
No.
deities.
He specifically says the what now?
Touche, touche.
I just got here not that long ago, so I have no idea what's going on in this world. I will be perfectly honest with you.
Fair enough. Are you like this one then? And he'll point to Winifred.
He just like turns his head towards Winifred, and he just like tilts it. And he's just like, I do not know her either, but hello. Would you?
But let me
Yeah,
guess.
thanks.
Both of you heard a voice on the wind. You came through and you decided to come here, saw the weird things that are around, and now you're just curious, or do you want to turn tail and leave?
Well, I would say that what I just witnessed has definitely piqued my interest. I would like to learn more about what's going on here.
He'll turn and look at you.
Like their
Winifred.
strength. They've got spunk, kind of like that. She'll use the snake to kind of like the snake. She'll have the snake like come up next to them and like kind of nod to them and see if they'll like hop on the head of the snake.
Who, Rags?
Yeah.
He'll like flop. He can control himself fine, but he just wants to do this for the sake of trying to show people that he's not really too big of a threat, despite what they just saw. He tries to appeal to their fucking like when someone sees a cute little adorable toy, like he'll just like flop himself onto the head of the snake.
She'll have the snake raise its head and kind of stand up like full size, almost, to show everyone. She'll
So
be
you know how cats, when they're lying on like a branch, they'll have like legs on either side of the branch when they're laying on their belly?
Yeah.
He's kind of laying like that on top of the snake's head, with like his head like resting like this on top of the snake, like.
Cute. Okay.
She'll have the snake come towards her and then kind of have it shrink down, like dismiss it almost, and then like catch, like with permission, like
I'll let
Rags.
you catch him. He'll let you catch him. He likes being carried.
She'll put him on her shoulder.
Look at all this cuteness. In my horror game, how dare you?
Ha! You need some cute moments. It'll help distract you from the horrors of the world for a few seconds.
Dude,
So I'd say it
you
also
love this.
makes a great irony of the fact that you've got, you've got a mean blood witch, and then you've got this unassuming wolf plushie that turns into this monster.
Alter things, alter things.
It's fucking perfect.
Um, just fair warning: if either of you are of the demonic or undead variety, it might sting a little. As you guys go into the town, you do, the town center, which is right next to that well, and he points to it, and Rags, immediately it feels like someone chopped onions and then rubbed the raw onions on your eyes, like.
You just see him immediately like take the two front paws and just like go. Can I ask what in the hell is going on?
Did you hand? Oh, do you still have that gem with you / on you, Rags?
Yes, he before his mouth sewn itself back shut again, he did put it in his mouth for safekeeping.
We've been for the past 2 weeks been dealing with these things. Originally, he points to the well. They're coming out of there, and I had some sage in what I'm assuming was my house. And we put it there and it stopped them. Apparently, it seems to be from demonic of nature, and I would be out there helping guard the lines, but I have to take care of this. He points to the many bodies. So we just keep burning this for the time being, but then they started popping out of the ground.
I can tell you that's nothing that I've ever witnessed before from where I'm from, but then again, everything seems to be different here.
Well.
I did notice something come out of one of those creatures when I tore it apart, though.
Really? What did you see?
And like he allows like the stitching of his mouth to rip open as he lets the gem fall out.
She'll like catch it in her hand.
It's completely dry. There's like he doesn't produce any saliva, so it's like completely dry from when he picked it up.
No
before.
sawdust, no lint, nothing. It's just perfect.
Yep. And like the mouth closes back up again.
Mm-hmm.
She'll just catch it.
Okay. It is no longer beating as it once was, but now it's just a pretty stone. A pretty little.
That is what came out of it.
She'll hand it to the mayor guy. What is your name, sir?
My name? Oh, it's Oren.
Oren?
Oren, yeah.
Oren.
How do you spell that?
I'm assuming O-R-I-N.
Yes. No, there's an extra H in there. I'm not telling you where it is.
Oren.
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 There's one in every game.
It's you.
I
know. He's gonna look at the stone and he's going to try to roll a brains check to see if he can figure out what it is. It's not good. It's not what he needed, though. I mean, it's not terrible. It's not what he needed. He looks over and says, the only thing I've seen come out of them is that before they turn to ashes, like bits of crystal. I never got a full one like this. So, he shrugs. I have no idea, and he hands it back over to you, Winifred. Do you come from the? He looks you over one more time, Winifred. Those robes. Do you come from the academies up north? We've had a couple people come from there, wearing similar garb.
I don't know, do I?
You've never been north. Again, y'all woke up a couple months ago. Maybe a couple weeks.
In all honesty, Oren, I have no idea. You'll just have to trust your own word on that.
Keep that in mind. He'll look to the two of you. I didn't catch either of your names.
Fittingly enough, the name I was most recently given was Rags, and I usually keep the name I was most recently given until someone gives me a new one.
It suits you.
Thank you.
The name I was given was Winifred.
A pleasure to meet you both. But if you are willing to go down there, you can keep any spoils you want other than food. He'll point to the thing. I can't go. Got to keep an eye on these guys and make sure no others spawn up there. We also have a few other things that, but in case you're willing, we don't have much in the way of marbles.
Assuming marbles is what you use as currency around here.
Yes, yes.
Very well. Everything has its own way of dealing with things. I suppose I will think about it, considering how long we are down there. What about you, Winifred?
Well, I've been looking to get into cramped and closed spaces for a while, I presume. She says sarcastically.
It could be larger when we get down there.
That's true. But she's
Wife, no.
I'm not sorry. No, but she'll say, I've been wanting to test out. But she will say, I've been wanting to test out some tricks. So, but she'll continue and say, there's some tricks I've been meaning to try, and well, I don't know if I want to test them on innocent. So, I'm down to go.
Be careful either way. We're going to have to close up the door behind you, and if you need any help, make it clear you're not monsters.
I think we'll be able to manage that much. Those things don't exactly seem capable in the way of speech.
Not these ones, anyway.
I'm gonna try and take that as non-ominously as possible. So, I assume we're in agreement, Winifred, going down there and clearing out their little pest problem.
Yeah, I think that would be good.
I believe you have a couple of exterminators on your hands now, then.
Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys being here. It's always a blast to do things with you guys, whether it be on Twitch, or over here on YouTube, or even TikTok. Around me, hopefully, if I can set this up properly, links to my other places where you can watch my stuff. If you want to see what I look like and me talk more about Dungeons and Dragons and other fun stuff, check out my TikTok. If you like the way I edit my videos / the style, check out my Fiverr. If you want to see me stream, I stream every day on Twitch. I have a lot of fun there. It's right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Check out my Instagram and Twitter also. Y'all have a great rest of your day, and as always, grab a cloak. It's cold outside.